Most of you aren't subscribed. Make sure to subscribe, as it helps out the channel. Without further ado, wondering what a little girl is doing out at night all alone, Makoto realizes that something is off, asking that Mio talk to the girl. Unexpectedly, Mio puts on a terrifying glare, threatening the girl to leave them alone. Calling Mio back, Makoto scolds Mio for scaring the little girl, but Mio states that she simply wants to be alone with Makoto. Seeing Mio and Makoto arguing, the little girl can't help but giggle, making Makoto more comfortable with asking the girl her reason for being here. With the girl clinging to Makoto, Makoto reasons it would be best to head back to their inn for now. Whilst this is happening, a mysterious man watches from afar, disappearing into an alleyway. Returning to the room, the little girl begins talking about how she and her older sister were traveling together. When they entered the village, her older sister had started looking for work, but had suddenly disappeared. Makoto learns that the older sister has been gone for 1 month now, and since the little girl doesn't have any money, she has been kicked out of the place she has been staying in. As the little girl begins to break down, both Makoto and Mio suspect that her older sister is in some sort of trouble. Cutting to the carriage the gang had brought, we see several ninjas approaching the carriage, only to hear Tomo's voice from behind them. Demanding to know who they're, Tomo is forced to dodge the ninjas' advances, kicking one lightly, but even with her holding back, her strength is insane. Evading two of the Tomo begins to feel bad as she is moving too fast and way too strong for her opponents. With all but one defeated, she spots the last one attempting to flee, easily catching up and knocking them out, as she plans to interrogate them later. Returning to Makoto to tell him about what had happened, Tomo is scolded for not holding back more against mere humans, and that she's lucky that they have Mio to clean things up. Unwrapping the sole survivor, Tomo learns that there were female amongst the attackers, which makes Makoto scold her more for not considering these things. But realizing that the little girl is here, Makoto refrains from punishing Tomo. Finally revealing her name as Rinin, Tomo learns of Rinin's tragic past, but Rinin is more amazed that Makoto is not a mute, but he still can't speak to other humans. Since it's getting late, Makoto asks that Rinin eat food they had brought for Tomo, and take Tomo's bed for the night, as punishment for Tomo. Happy to be given such luxuries, Rinin accidentally calls Makoto Big Brother, only to apologize, but Makoto says Rinin can call him whatever she feels comfortable with. Before she leaves, Rinin gives Makoto a sketch of her sister, which Makoto, upon seeing, recognizes something. As Rinin leaves the room, she for some reason looks guilty. As Mio returns from eating up the corpses in the crime scene, she enters the room, only to see Makoto with a serious look, checking the memories of their captive. Upon seeing Mio, Makoto changes his tone, thanking Mio for taking care of the corpses. Having looked through the captive's memories, Makoto finds out the attackers were all at the guild when they had first visited, suspecting that they must be linked to Rinin and her missing sister. Having a rough idea of where the perpetrators are, Makoto asks that Mio and Tomo head out immediately, giving them the serious look from before. Knowing that their master is serious, the girls listen to Makoto's instructions, heading out immediately. Thanking the girls for not questioning his motive, Makoto thinks about how the sketch of Rinin's older sister deeply resembles Hasegawa from his previous life, and he may not be able to hold back if he found out something bad happened to her look-alike. As Mio and Tomo walk through the streets, they chat about how Makoto is oddly serious about finding Rinin's sister, making Mio wonder if Rinin's sister is an acquaintance of Makoto. But Tomo shoots this thought down, revealing that she would know, as she's seen all of Makoto's memories, making Mio so jealous. Seeing as the sun is about to rise, they reason that they should complete the mission and hurry back. Taking Rinin out to help with some exchanges, Makoto tells Rinin that they'll help find her sister, but is surprised that Rinin can drive a wagon. Suddenly Rinin thinks of her sister, revealing to us that her sister had decided to become an adventurer in this town, but since everything was so expensive, she had to work to repay things. Unfortunately, her older sister had been badly injured, unable to pay off her debt before collapsing suddenly. Rinin was instructed by her big sis to get out of this town, and leave no matter what, but sadly was caught by an adventurer when she tried to leave. As we zoom into an underground cellar, we see Rinin's older sister, lying on the floor, with no energy. She reveals how her family has been adventurers for generations, but in the past, one of her ancestors had lost a valuable short sword, the family's treasure during a battle with a monster. In order to return her family's honor, Rinnen's older sis had planned to earn back the honor, but is currently mentally and physically incapable of such a thing. As Rinnen's sis hears some talking, she looks up to see Mio and Tomo, who reason that she must have been used in some human magic experiments. With Mio healing Rinnen's sis, they leave the room, having to melt away the wall to bypass the locked door. As the three walk down the hallway of their location, they are stopped by Mills Ace, the strongest adventurer. Back with Makoto, he and Rinnen have just finished up their errands, but Rinnen looks more and more freaked out, even screaming out of nowhere. Having returned to the inn, Rinnen suddenly runs off, but Makoto allows her to leave, knowing that others are ordering her around. Activating his Kai ability, Makoto tracks Rinnen's whereabouts, seeing Rinnen talking to a man. When Rinnen tells the man about Makoto's carriage being attacked last night, the man reveals that it was his doing, asking if Rinnen has any more information. Rinnen states that the fruits that Makoto brought from his village sold for a lot of money, prompting the man to order Rinnen to steal the money, as a means to pay off her and her sister's debt. As Rinnen leaves to steal Makoto's money, Makoto thinks about how corrupt this village is. Cutting to the girls, we learn that Rinnen's sister's name is Toa, and Mills was the one that had her locked up. On top of that, Mills is the mastermind behind this corrupt town, having the man that just spoke with Rinnen and his lackeys do the dirty work, whilst he swoops in and plays the fake hero. One of Mills' men suddenly realizes that Mio and Tomo are the new adventurers over level 1000, but Mills accused them of faking their levels. Additionally, Mills talks about a mysterious creature with outrageous mana visiting their town not recently, threatening to have Mio and Tomo face that creature. But Mio and Tomo know that the creature they are talking about is Makoto. With a smug look, Mills offers Mio and Tomo a job in his corrupt faction, but the girls decline. Wondering why the girls would turn down such a thing, Mills insults Makoto, but this triggers the girls, as they both throw a single punch in Mills' direction, but Mills reveals an almighty shield, the clay Aegis, nullifying the girls' punches. Cutting to Rinnen, we see her guilty of lying to Makoto, wondering if she should even steal from Makoto. Back with girls, we see them now fired up. Tomo takes the first strike, easily blasting through the clay Aegis, blowing Mills' men away, along with landing a direct hit on Mills. As Mio walks after Tomo's decimation, she stops in front of Mills, slapping him silly, before carrying on. Tomo is then seen walking up on the man that has been manipulating Rinnen, trapping him in her illusion, only for the two to blow open the building, sending Mills flying away for good. As Tomo and Mio fight over who had slaughtered more people, we see Rinnen finally reunited with Toa, who Makoto notes is an exact copy of Hasegawa, except for the hair color. As Rinnen and Toa take a nap, Makoto ties up Mio and Tomo, flinging them out of the town with his bow, as punishment for destroying the village and losing control. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like and